Now, please, let me advise you. As a young man, as a young woman, grow large in your spirit. Grow very large. Give yourself to fasting. Give yourself to prayer now.
So one of the prototypes that Jesus had to fulfill was the prototype of the scapegoat. And that was what was playing out as Jesus was taking the cross outside of the walls of the city. According to the requirement or the prototype of the scapegoat has to die outside of the walls of Jerusalem. So Jesus was coming with redemption. Jesus was coming with regeneration. Jesus was coming with salvation. All of those goodies were hanging on Jesus. And unfortunately, he had lost so much blood that he did not have strength in his humanity to take that cross to the place where the prophetic patterns will be fulfilled. Because if he's the scapegoat, he needs to die outside of the walls of Jerusalem. And he did not have the physical strength to take himself where the prophetic pattern will be fulfilled. Oh, that was a day that heaven prayed and waited for earth to answer. The reason why I said that is because after the fall, there were only 3 families that God had to work with: Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Shem, symbolic of the Jews, representative of the Sanhedrin, had condemned Jesus to death. So God could no longer use any of the sons of Shem to help Jesus with his cross. Japheth, those are the Europeans, represented by Pilate. Pilate sentenced Jesus to death. So God could not use any European to help Jesus with the cross. There was only one lineage that had not condemned Jesus: the sons of Ham, and they were the Africans. Now, I'm now wondering how Simon the Cyrenian got there from Africa, because I like to think, I like to analyze. What was he doing in Jerusalem at that time? There are so many questions about that. But Simon the Cyrenian was on the scene, and he was the only man that qualified to stand in the gap, because the 2 races have already sentenced Jesus to death. So, suddenly they brought Simon into the picture, and that has implicated Africa. That the end-time gospel of the cross will be preached in its purest form from sons and daughters of Africa. Are you following? So they took Jesus out. So even though Jesus lost so much blood through the stripes, through the thorns, and all of that, that one is not counting. No, he has not started counting, because he has not arrived outside of the gate. When he arrived outside of the gate and they put him on the cross, are you with me? You know, they had to nail his hands to the tree. They had to nail his feet to the tree. They had to. So his blood had the opportunity to touch down Golgotha. The first omen that manifested from his blood touching down Golgotha was an earthquake. You realize that in the case of Abel, the ground opened her mouth to receive the blood. That's the blood of what? Innocent. You are following me? In the case of Jesus, the ground could not analyze the blood. It was earthquake. The computer crashed. Now, all of these things I'm trying to explain to you, you will notice in the book of Luke that an unbeliever, the centurion was an unbeliever. He had crucified people before. He had superintended crucifixions again and again. And the guy was just an observer. He began to see the omens find expression around the death of Jesus. His conclusion at the end of the day was that Jesus was a righteous man. That was the testimony of an unbeliever that has experienced many, many crucifixions. The first omen that took place was that the ground that collected Abel's own could not analyze his own. The ground gave way because it was the blood of who? The righteous man.
Now, please, let me advise you. As a young man, as a young woman, grow large in your spirit. Grow very large. Give yourself to fasting. Give yourself to prayer now.